Okay, so what's happened since was it Thursday or Wednesday?
Yes, I feel like it's not been enough time to do much practicing, but yeah, it's been since Thursday.
Hmm.
Okay, so let's see. The last time we worked on constructive rest,
Hmm.
and so I was able to try that 2 days. I wish I could have done it more. It just by the time I was in bed and I realized I hadn't done it, whatever. I was like, I'll try tomorrow. So I was able to do it Friday night and last night.
Hmm.
And so I, the first time, I think I accidentally went in and out of sleep.
That's okay. If you fall asleep, just let that happen or get up and
Okay,
go to bed. But
right?
yeah, no harm.
Okay, because I have found that like doing it after I put my kids to bed, and I'm home, then that's the best way for me to be able to like put the distractions away and just do it.
Sure.
So the first time I tried to use like some light instrumental music and thinking it wouldn't distract me, and I think it was okay.
Hmm.
Last night I tried using white noise, and I actually think that helped a lot more
Yeah.
because I'm a musician, maybe. Like I'm in tune to music. And so I don't know whether it's good or bad, but my brain starts to wander towards the music, and the white noise helped me to not wander to music.
Right. And what did you notice when you did that and when you got up from constructive rest?
Well, the first time I did it, I was laying there, and within the first few minutes, I'm like, I'm supposed to be more relaxed than this. Something isn't right. And I realized I was in trying to lay down um, correctly. Um, I think I was trying really hard to keep my legs at a 90-degree angle, and I needed to let go.
Let go of that. Good, good,
Yes. And I
excellent.
figured because I'm like, this doesn't feel like I'm supported everywhere. I'm trying to support myself. So when I was able to let go of that, then I realized, oh, okay, I probably look even sillier now that I'm just like dead bug here. But I think that that helped me because then I was able to really relax. And I mean, I found it very relaxing. I
Hmm.
found it to be a great way to still myself in the midst of my life that is can be very hectic.
Hmm.
And I kind of just wanted to stay there, honestly, but I realized I should probably go to bed. So when my alarm went off on my watch at 20 minutes, I rolled over and I went to bed.
So,
And
did you happen to notice anything when you stood up, when you got
when
up?
I stood up,
Yeah, when you got out, came back to
uh-huh,
the real
I
world, so to
I
speak.
think I think that when I stood up, I would say that I was definitely feeling lighter,
Yeah. So that tells you
somewhat
something.
floatier. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Good.
Both times,
I think
definitely.
once you, so definitely if your legs rotate out a little bit or whatever on the couch, you're using the couch method.
I did the first time, and last night I tried putting the roller under my knees,
Right.
and I kind of had to let go of my legs there too. Like I,
Yeah. Just there's nothing to do. The question to ask occasionally when you're lying down, especially when you're first doing it, first few times, am I doing anything to be here?
Mhm,
And if the answer is yes, then the next question is, what would happen if I stopped doing that?
mhm,
Because there's nothing you should have to do.
mhm.
It's absolute zero.
Okay.
That's what
Yeah,
we're after here. Zero.
yes, and I'm proud of myself. I was able to notice like
Yeah.
I'm doing something and I shouldn't be.
Well, shouldn't.
I know. Okay,
I
okay.
come back to this a few times.
Yes.
And this kind of a little bit judgmental, maybe. I would just
Hmm.
say I would think of it more as, oh, look, how interesting. I was holding something a little bit
Hmm.
and I didn't notice it, but then I did notice it. Wow, that's really good. I've learned something.
Yeah, that's
You know,
interesting.
different, a little, put a little different spin on it because
Yes. Okay.
um, uh, judgment. of the kind we're talking about, judging good, bad kind of judgment stuff, it's not really helpful. I mean that. So, anything else over the last few days?
I had the opportunity to take time with my sister, who I've told you a little bit before.
Yes, yes.
Her vocal struggle is real, and yeah, it's real. And she was very open and listened, and I'm planning right after this to share the videos with her. I need to do that right away because I keep forgetting. Um,
Yeah, good.
but but it was a good challenge for me to have to describe the Alexander technique in the 4 lessons that I had,
Hmm.
and and just and be really thoughtful about how I described it and the words that I used.
Hmm.
And that was good practice for me,
Yeah.
you know, to be able, and then like to kind of show her some things and give her something as simple as, like, we put her, she's done so much longer than I did it, trying to trying to micromanage how you're using your voice in order to preserve your voice. And I have told her like the true benefit that I've discovered of letting go of thinking you know how to fix this and just be free. Let your throat be free. Let your
Let
neck
it,
be free.
let it be
You are
fixed
free.
instead of fixing it,
Yeah.
basically.
And
Yeah, yeah.
and it was really good to have that conversation with her. And she said that, she's like, I've seen so many specialists now that I feel like I have so many like different techniques, and she's like, I'm kind of like, it's almost like a web up in my head because whose technique is right? Because I didn't really get a huge growth from anybody.
Yeah.
And so, when she was listening, I understand that for her, it's like, is this just one more wet? Is this going to cause more confusion
Hmm.
if I give her another thing to try? But, when she's ready and she wants to give it a try, and I think she will.
Well, I think you said at one point, one of our earlier conversations, you said that when you first heard about the Alexander technique and it seemed like a good thing,
Hmm.
you approached it mentally as well. I've got all these other techniques I've got for singing, and this will be another one of those. And
Hmm.
it isn't. That's
Hmm.
maybe that would be useful information for her too.
Yes. Hmm.
Anyway, so how have you gotten on with paradoxical direction?
Hmm. Yeah, I went on a walk that very night and
Yeah.
took some instead of driving to the YMCA, I walked and did a lot of paradoxical and then nonsense thinking, kind of the back and forth. And I really enjoyed that. I think that that's something that sometimes I'm still overthinking it a little bit. But
Well, and you might. And again, when that seems to be the case, um, just pause and say, maybe
yeah.
I'm doing too much thinking, or just let go of the thinking, and don't take it as a judgment. How did I forget so quickly? Just
Hmm.
I'm glad I noticed.
Yes.
The other thing you said, well, I went for a walk instead of going to the gym, right? Was that what?
Well, instead of driving to the gym,
Yeah.
I
Oh, you
walked to the
walk
gym.
to the gym. Oh, okay. Because you could also use those directions very nicely in the gym.
Hmm. Hmm. I've been playing with that a little bit.
Good. And I mean,
Uh-huh.
that would be another very interesting experience
Mhm.
for you, I think.
Yeah, because I I always want to give, and I know that this term is gonna be a buzz, but I always want to give 100%
Oh, yeah. Well,
because it's a shift in like being passionate about doing something well versus over exuding energy you don't necessarily need.
yeah. Yeah, I can see that. Um, but sometimes, I mean, one way to think about all of this stuff that we're doing is that whatever you're able to do now, having had a few lessons, whatever changes have happened, uh, that ability, the ability to have greater ease,
Hmm.
basically, or however you want to describe it, that ability was always there before you even started taking lessons. It's not
Right.
like we've created some new thing. You've simply pulled, maybe eliminated a few obstacles to using what was there in right all along. If we were talking about building up this capacity from scratch, then we would not be talking about a few lessons or whatever. We'd be talking about a lifetime of things that it would just be
Hmm.
impractical. So it's
Right.
already there. It's just a question
Okay.
of letting it, not getting in its way, perhaps would be
Yeah.
the way to put it.
Yeah, that's a great way to look at that.
Yeah,
Something that's always been there.
right. So I want to wait till next week to give you a few add-ons to constructive rest. I'd like you to have a little more time just doing nothing
Okay.
and learning what environment would be best for you for doing nothing. You might want to try an environment of no sound at all. If
Hmm.
uh, yeah, different people have sort of different experience with that. I've had students who really only wanted to do it with some kind of a meditation tape or something like that. There
Hmm.
are on that page I sent you, you may not have had a chance to look at it, the constructive rest page,
Hmm.
a great,
I've glanced through it, but I haven't dug through it.
well, there are a great many audio talk-throughs by Alexander teachers.
I have found some
Yeah,
almost by accident, digging it up, and
yeah,
before I found you, I
yeah.
found a recording of one, and I was took my kids to a trampoline park, and they were jumping, and I was listening to this constructive rest and just about fell over standing there in the gym.
Yeah, well, they're designed really, they're not really designed to be used standing up or saying, yeah,
I was just curious.
you might want to take a look at, listen to some of those. They're all
Okay.
going to be very different. Different teachers have very different approaches to that, but there's a huge variety there. And, you might occasionally want to experiment with listening to one of those, but I would get a bit of a grounding first in doing and nothing. Just, just, I'm just here.
Okay.
The only thing I might want to do is ask myself, am I doing anything? That's what we talked about. But
Hmm.
other than that, uh, really nothing.